side. Good evening. Good evening and welcome to Silver Spring. My name is Remberto Rodriguez, Director of Montgomery County's Silver Spring Regional Center. What an amazing honor it is for us here in Silver Spring that our County Executive, Ike Leggett, has chosen this location for his State of the County address. I also want to welcome back to Silver Spring Maryland's Lieutenant Governor, Anthony Brown, and our State Controller, Peter Franshaw. And as well as the many other elected officials here joining us tonight. Mr. County Executive, thank you so much for your leadership. Here in Silver Spring, you have been the steward of this amazing transformation in our downtown area. Even in these times of international, national, and regional economic challenges, Silver Spring has definitely sprung. No, we're not done yet, but our community, under your leadership, is developing as the go-to place to live, work, pray, play, and enjoy all aspects of life within a sensible proximity without having to spend countless hours commuting or driving up 10 miles. Within an easy walking distance of where we are right now, there are thousands of housing units and more on the way, a strong and thriving shopping area, a growing number of eateries offering culinary experiences from throughout the world, soon-to-be brand-new library, and arts and entertainment options for all tastes. This facility we're in right now, the proudly named Silver Spring Civic Building and Veterans Plaza, is becoming an international model for what a true community space and public square can be. During the week and on any given weekend, this place is full of activity, bringing together people from all walks of life to create community where culture and economic activity intersect. Not many other places, dare I say, in the world will you find such an amazing diversity of families enjoying the public realm. And conferences, conventions, business meetings, open-air markets, ice skating, quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs, weddings and wakes, you name it, it takes place here. Our Silver Spring civic community, indeed the civic community from throughout our county, has embraced this facility, this area, as the place to meet, hold forums, public hearings, and much more. Then there are the festivals. Oh, what a beautiful tapestry and pageantry of cultures they are. To experience these festivals on Veterans Plaza is like going to faraway places without leaving home. And we thank the County Executive for being here so often at so many of these celebrations, gatherings, events. We thank you, and the county thanks you. Buenas noches y bienvenidos a Silver Spring. Mi nombre es Remberto Rodríguez, director del Centro Regional de nuestro condado, Montgomery County, aquí en Silver Spring. Es un gran honor que nuestro ejecutivo, el señor Ike Leggett, ha escogido nuestra comunidad, Silver Spring, para compartir con nosotros el estado del condado. Señor Leggett, gracias por su liderazgo. Es por ese liderazgo que estamos viendo esta gran transformación aquí en el centro de nuestro pueblo, Silver Spring. Aquí lo tenemos todo cerca, vivienda, trabajo, recreación y mucho más, sin tener que manejar por millas o pasar horas en el metro o en el bus. Y aquí tenemos a nuestro centro cívico y la plaza de veteranos, realmente un ejemplo clásico de un espacio comunitario, de una plaza del pueblo, como muchas de aquellas en nuestros países. Conferencias, convenciones, mercado público, pista de patinar en hielo, quinceañeras, bodas y velorios. Aquí nuestra comunidad se reúne para dialogar, intercambiar ideas, celebrar con festivales y mucho más. Gracias por acompañarnos tantas veces en todos estos eventos. Todo miembro de nuestra comunidad y todos nosotros en el condado le damos gracias a usted por su excelente liderazgo. Please join me in welcoming our friend, our neighbor, and our leader, County Executive Ike Leggett.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Just in case I had a Marco Rubio moment, my ward is here and to the left. As I began my 7th year as county executive, I have never been more optimistic about the future of Montgomery County. We are fortunate to live in one of the nation's best places to raise a family, obtain an education, earn a living, and build a business. We may not yet be the hippest spot in the D.C. region, but most of America would change places with us in a heartbeat. I want to thank the County Council, federal and state elected officials of municipalities, the Montgomery County Public Schools, Montgomery College, Park and Planning Commission, the WSSC, and all of our business and community partners who have worked tirelessly to help advance the county to new heights of positive achievement. The state of Montgomery County is strong and growing. We have navigated through a mighty economic storm, one that ravaged our nation and, yes, deeply affected us here in Montgomery County. But for all of these challenges, the job market is expanding, our foundation is strong again, and our public school system is excelling as we pass the 1 million mark in population. As a county that has always prided itself on a skilled workforce and an excellent educational system, we are well prepared to advance further into the knowledge economy. Tonight, I will talk with you about the journey of change that I believe will take us to an even brighter tomorrow. This journey has not been painless, and the road ahead would not be easy. But with every tough decision that we have made, that we make now, and that we will make in the future, we are building a better Montgomery County. Sometimes we minimize what we have accomplished in Montgomery County. For all of the challenges we face, America's future is happening right here. Montgomery County has one of the lowest unemployment rates in the nation. We have more than 32,000 businesses employing almost 360,000 workers, including the headquarters of Discovery Communications, Lockheed Martin, Marriott International, Ritz-Carlton, Geico, Hughes Network System, and MedImmune, and many others. In the past, I believe Montgomery County was too heavily dependent upon the federal employment sector. We now have developed a thriving private economy. Montgomery County and a significant part of the employment opportunities, both private and federal, are focused on the future: healthcare, cybersecurity, food and drug safety, homeland security, and bioscience. Companies come here or are created here. Many remain here and expand here. Why? Because we have one of the most highly educated and dedicated workforces in the nation. We have more PhDs and postgraduate degrees on a percentage basis than any other large jurisdiction in the nation. I'm proud that the county's graduation rate continues to rise and that among the nation's large districts, Montgomery County Public Schools has the highest graduation rate overall and the highest graduation rate for African American males. And we're the home to the University of Maryland at Shady Grove, Johns Hopkins University, Washington Adventist University, and Montgomery College. A strong and vibrant economy is the foundation for a healthy and successful community. But the things that make Montgomery County exceptional cannot be measured solely in dollars and cents or even our test scores, important as these are. What brings talented and dedicated people here and keeps them here is our love of learning, our caring for our neighbors, stewardship of our environment, and our passion to participate in community life. Montgomery County has a tradition of welcoming newcomers, including a Vietnam veteran, a poor kid from Louisiana who graduated from Howard Law School, who saw the potential in his great county made it his home, and raised a family here, and now proudly serves as your county executive. I wasn't born here, but I moved here as soon as I could, and I've stayed. And I've stayed with my lovely wife, I'd like to introduce, Catherine Isiah Leggett. When I assumed office, I knew that Montgomery County was going through not just a transition, but a transformation in who we are, how we live, how we earn our living, and how we manage the county's finances and invest in the future. We are one of the most affluent counties in all of America, and we are one of the most diverse. According to the 2010 census, we have become a majority-minority county for the first time. More than 30% of our residents are foreign-born. A welcoming attitude, plus a strong economy, a quality environment, and an outstanding school system makes Montgomery County a magnet for talented people from every corner of the globe. Diversity is more than just a feel-good term for Montgomery County. Diversity lifts this county up, and it helps enlighten us about the world around us. Without the energy and intellect and innovation of our immigrant community, Montgomery County would quite simply be incomplete. New Americans are a critical piece of building a better future for all of our county residents. But since I took office 6 years ago as your county executive, we've been caught in the equivalent of an almost perfect economic storm. First, there were the long-standing deficit in county finances, years of living beyond our means, even during the good times. Then came the national recession, which caused real havoc on us here in Montgomery County. The recession reduced revenue while increasing demand on our safety net for those most in need. The county public schools, which had predicted a tapering off of growth in student population, actually grew by more than 2,000 students per year. Decisions at the state and federal level made it more difficult for us to meet our obligation to provide public services and restricted our ability to make needed investments for the future in a variety of important sectors. When I was elected to this office, county spending had increased during each of the previous 4 years by an average of more than 10% per year, an astounding 42% over 4 years. Simply put, that was not sustainable. We're in danger of drowning in red ink because of the perfect storm that consisted of a growing workforce, ever-increasing service demand, and shrinking revenue. All of this occurred before the onset of the national recession. Together, these conditions resulted in long-term structural deficits in the county's budget, with multi-million-dollar budget gaps, and the worst deficit was the will not to make the tough decisions. And added to all of this were weather-related travails. Now, you may remember 4 feet of snow forgotten, ice storms, brush fires, tornadoes, derecho, even an earthquake hit us. I've said that if Montgomery County was invaded by locusts of biblical proportions, I would not have been surprised. To understand more fully what we've been through together, I want you to think of Montgomery County as a magnificent ship, an ocean liner for a moment. This ship has as one of its missions the transport of passengers on voyages throughout the area on a daily basis. It also delivers food and housing for those in need. On board this ship, clinics provide medical care. It is a place of employment, recreation, education, and innovation for many of its passengers, as well as for those who depend on it throughout the region. 6 years ago, when I assumed the role of captain of this ship, if you looked at the ocean line of Montgomery County above the waterline, the ship appeared steady and strong. But below the waterline, this magnificent ship was leaking. The engine was defective and risked running short on fuel. To make matters worse, the ship was about to sail into the troubled waters of a major national recession. And we did not have the luxury, of course, to place the ship in dry docks, make all the repairs before we headed back out into the waters. We had to make the repairs while the ship continued to plow through the stormy waters without ever stopping. Together, we have repaired the ship and fully retooled the engine and placed our ship on a course in the right direction. Weathering the economic storm has been a challenge for us, but here's how we did it. We set the county's compass to the basic needs and core values that I outlined when I first assumed office. That is, to maintain a thriving economy, to educate and train a skilled and adaptable workforce essential for attracting and keeping good jobs, to expand and preserve opportunities for affordable housing and ownership of rental housing as well, to provide an effective and efficient transportation network, to support healthy and environmentally sustainable communities while ensuring safety in our streets and security in our neighborhoods, to build a better government that is more responsive and responsible, where everyone has a seat at the table and a voice in the outcome. And because effective government begins with fiscal responsibility, to get back to the basics with county government that pays its bills, lives within its means, and tells the truth about its finances. Together, we faced the facts and made the tough decisions. Over a 5-year period, we closed more than $2.6 billion in budgetary gaps. During the past 6 years, the county taxpayers and employees' shared sacrifice hasn't just been a phrase, it has really been a way of life. Each of us has contributed so that all of us can benefit together in the future. Many already financially strapped residents have had to pay a little bit more in taxes while receiving somewhat less in services. Dedicated county employees have suffered layoffs, furloughs, while not receiving negotiated pay raises and cost of living increases, and having paid large shares of their own health costs and retirement costs. I recommended a 10% reduction in the entire county's workforce. All of this pained me greatly, but I believe it was the right thing for Montgomery County. Because we battened down the hatches and overhauled the basic functions, our ship of state has come through the storm. We maintain our coveted AAA bond rating, saving taxpayers millions of dollars in borrowing costs each year. We're holding down the line on property taxes at the charter level. I have worked aggressively to increase reserves in order to protect the county if we face budget shortfalls in the future. We have, for the first time, allocated far more resources in advance to meet weather-related emergencies. I've also developed a prudent plan that establishes a trust fund that sets aside tens of millions of dollars to meet the anticipated health calls out obligations for retired employees, thereby averting huge potential financial crises in the future. Just take a look at how our balanced approach to addressing these difficulties has helped bring us out of the worst of the economic crisis. Despite the lingering recession, over the last 3 years, we've seen a 3.4% increase in jobs in the county. Our unemployment rate has dropped by 15% over the last 2 years. The construction of new residential units in Montgomery County increased by over 150% over the last 3 years. Non-residential construction starts and their value have doubled between 2009 and 2012. Median home prices are up by 5% in the last year. And the value of taxable property, the county's tax base, increased by almost 30% in the last 5 years. The numbers we want to go up are going up. The numbers we want to go down are going down. I call that progress. We will continue to build the 21st century economy for which our skills or our residents are so well suited. During the period of the economic downturn, the county's economic strategy has centered on keeping the companies we have, supporting small businesses, and attracting new jobs and businesses from around the country and literally from all over the world. In order to maintain a competitive edge and focus must be on high-skilled, high-wage, future-oriented jobs, both public and private, such as the life sciences, information technology, healthcare and communications, environmentally friendly technologies as well. And for the foreseeable future, the emerging industry for Montgomery County is biotech. The challenge is to take our local successes to the next level. When it comes to biotechnology, Montgomery County is well positioned to become what Seattle and Southern California are for aerospace, and what the Silicon Valley is for information technology. We have long been on the leading edge of biotechnology and life sciences with companies like MedImmune, Human Genome Sciences, United Therapeutics, and expanded Johns Hopkins University, just to name a few. About a year ago, I established a major public-private partnership called BioHealth Innovation to accelerate technology transfer and research commercialization in Montgomery County and the Baltimore region. Its primary mission is to create new businesses out of research institutions and advance the early-stage promising medical technology. But biotechnology is only one example of how Montgomery County is attracting and developing the high-skilled, high-wage, cutting-edge industries. We are host to many nationally prominent companies, as well as to a number of foreign companies that have established operations here in Montgomery County. To further encourage additional investments, we enacted a biotech tax credit, making Montgomery County the first jurisdiction in the nation to do so. But we are not resting on our laurels. We must keep moving the county forward with a vision of what the future can be. The county is making visionary investments in the Great Seneca Science Corridor. We are also moving aggressively to transform the White Oak and White Flint Shaded Grove areas with transit-oriented development, and the planning of the future East County Life Science Center is well on its way. Between the Great Seneca Science Corridor, the White Oak Science Gateway, and White Flint Plan, we will help create 100,000 new high-quality jobs in Montgomery County. My Smart Growth Initiative is also strengthening the county's tax base by creating new high-quality jobs and fostering growth and expansion of the county's biotechnology sector. This initiative allows the county to develop thousands of new transit-oriented housing units near the Shaded Grove Metro. We've worked to attract the Maryland Biotechnology Center, making Montgomery County the epicenter of the county's and the state's strategic new industry. We've retained thousands of jobs in our county at federal facilities, such as the Federal Health and Human Services Division at Parkland, and NOAA right here in Silver Spring. The county's local small business reserve program encourages county departments to spend additional dollars with our small businesses. Our goal was to fund 20% of eligible contracts last year. We nearly doubled that amount. The procurement reforms we introduced are making it easier to do business with the county. My 11-point business assistance package provided much-needed support during the height of the recession for many struggling businesses. My new Smart Business Plus initiative allocates millions of dollars to community banks to help increase their local business lending and support job creation in the county. We are doubling that successful investment. I also recently introduced an emerging money managers program that encouraged the county to better accommodate small and minority money managers who invest our county's pension funds. Building on what's best starts with the county's crown jewel, that is our public schools. Of everything that we do to strengthen the county, the most important investment that we've made is in our nearly 150,000 public school students. Although the public schools account for more than half of the entire county's budget, they are the foundation for an infinitely larger share of the county's future. That is why, even during the most challenging fiscal years, I have supported the Montgomery County Public Schools budget at nearly 100% of their requests. And that is why we've provided additional resources for building new schools and modernizing existing schools. Every dollar that we invest in education reaps a rich harvest of excellence now and in the future to come. When families think about moving to Montgomery County and when companies consider location options, they take notice that in Montgomery County, we have 35 National Blue Ribbon schools. They're also aware that our SAT scores are 150 points above the national average, and that we had 137 National Merit Scholar semifinalists last year. Our educational system includes the county's excellent libraries, 20 full-service branches serving 685,000 residents with library cards. We're constructing the long-awaited new Silver Spring Library, as well as renovating the Gatesburg and Olney libraries as well. Montgomery College, a world-class open-access community college, educates more than 60,000 students every year for today's jobs and opportunities for the future. And the county has stepped forward to support the growth at the University of Maryland at Shady Grove. An excellent education is the cornerstone of the American dream, and so is the opportunity to own a home or to rent affordable housing. We have constructed or preserved nearly 8,000 affordable housing units in the past 5 years. I'll repeat that. We have constructed nearly 8,000 or preserved 8,000 affordable housing units. That is, in a time that we are going upstream against the national recession. And the county preserved affordability for another 6,000 working families with rental assistance. In addition, the county has been one of the most successful local jurisdictions anywhere in America at heading off foreclosure, conducted nearly 400 workshops and counseling over 13,000 county residents. "30% of Montgomery County residents are renters. They rent their homes. Renters deserve a voice, and I've worked to make sure that renters have a voice in my administration. Montgomery County is on a journey of progress, but we cannot move forward without a transportation system that meets our needs now and well into the future. That is why we have 3 new major transportation projects that must be built within the next decade, and that will keep Montgomery County moving for decades to come. First, the Purple Line. 16 miles of light rail will run from Bethesda to New Carrollton, connecting the county with the University of Maryland at College Park. Second, the Carter City Transitway will be a 15-mile-long bus rapid transit system traveling from Shady Grove to the ComSat site in southern Clarksburg, with 16 transit stations along the way. It will save the average commuter time, reduce the dependency on cars, and carry up to 47,000 people by 2035. Third, the Bus Rapid Transit Vehicle System, RTV, will create a transit network across the county, north to south, east to west. Riders will travel in stylish vehicles called RTVs that could carry as many as 140 passengers per year. But we can't build these critical transportation projects unless we can pay for them. Montgomery County is doing its part, but we can't and we shouldn't have to shoulder the burden all alone. Several years ago, I virtually stood all alone in advocating for an increase in the state's gasoline tax. It wasn't popular then, and it isn't popular now. But we needed it then, and we still need it now. In fact, we need an increase in transportation revenue more today than ever before. That's why I call upon the state legislature to do the difficult thing, the courageous thing, the necessary thing, but the right thing, and pass an increase in the state's gasoline tax right now. This tax has not been increased since 1992, when George Bush Sr. was president. This will help replenish the state's transportation trust fund and assist counties throughout the state to advance major transportation infrastructure. Montgomery County is Maryland's economic engine. What you invest in Montgomery County pays big time for the entire state. Still, in this sea of relative affluence, there are islands of poverty. The county's Department of Health and Human Services, in partnership with many local nonprofit faith-based organizations, effectively serves more than 100,000 residents a year, especially the most vulnerable children and seniors. The County Montgomery Cares Initiative provides access to health care to nearly 28,000 uninsured patients a year. And thanks to the Housing First initiative, we are placing more homeless adults and families in permanent housing. The number of homeless in Montgomery County actually fell by 13% last year. Government first responsibility is protecting the people's safety. When I took office, I spoke of safe streets, and right now, our streets are safer. From the beginning of 2007 to the end of 2011, crime in Montgomery County has fallen by 19%, and serious crime is down by 25%. But that's not good enough. We are currently in the middle of my 3-year plan to add 120 new police officers to the force to further enhance public safety throughout the county. The County Police, Recreation, and Health and Human Service Department are working closely with many in our community, many groups throughout the community, on our Positive Youth Development Initiative. This program provides positive opportunities for at-risk youth, as well as intervention to keep kids out of gang and prevent gang activity. I'm proud to say that these efforts have resulted in almost a 50% reduction in gang-related crimes from 2007 to 2008. That's progress as well. Under my administration, the Fire and Rescue Service, Korean volunteer, have made substantial improvement in protecting the lives of county residents and property, and the numbers show it. Montgomery County civilian fire deaths dropped from 13 in 2009 to only 2 in 2012, and we want to improve on that. Overall response time to fires decreased by more than 2 minutes. For the most serious fires, response time dropped from 7.2 minutes to less than 3 minutes. Thanks to our emergency medical service transport reimbursement program, the so-called ambulance fee, The county will have an additional 14 to 18 million annually dedicated to meeting critical fire and rescue service needs. That translates into more staffing, more ambulance, and even better response time at no added cost to county residents. This common sense measure didn't come easy. In some quarters, it was unpopular. It was initially rejected by county voters in a referendum. Although it took 5 years, I was determined to get this measure approved because I was convinced that we needed the revenue and that it would help save lives, and it would do just that. Speaking of saving lives, our 5-year investment in pedestrian safety, based on a comprehensive blueprint for action I advanced in 2007, is paying off as well. For example, we have reduced pedestrian fatalities from a high of 19 in 2008 to 6 in 2012. Reduced all collisions by 12% overall and by 45% in locations with the highest concentration of collisions, and reduced by 72% within a quarter mile of schools under our Safe Routes to Schools program. We're not only making sure that our communities are not only safe, but they are environmentally sustainable. Montgomery County is called a close-in suburb, but more than 93,000 acres, almost a third of our county land acres, are designated as agricultural and open space, and that's good. No other jurisdiction in the region, and few in the entire nation come close to matching that level of achievement in land use policy. In order to further enhance and support farming well into the future, last year I introduced a new farmer project. This is the first of its kind, a year-long pilot that will train, mentor, and support the land access needs of entrepreneurs who want to start new, sustainable farms in Montgomery County. We have the most extensive recycling program in the region. Our current recycling rate is more than 44%. I recently established a goal to recycle 70% by year 2020. That will give Montgomery County the second highest rate in the nation, behind only California and Florida. We are leading the way to improving water quality in our local watershed in the Chesapeake Bay by implementing the state's MS4 stormwater program. We're the only jurisdiction in the state with a program to treat the stormwater that flows off of 4,300 acres of parking lots, streets, and other hard surfaces. And let's not forget how important it is to protect our tree canopy. We should replace what we cut down. That's why I urge approval of the recently recommended legislation to protect our trees in Montgomery County. The new county bag law I introduced last year is already reducing the amount of paper and plastic waste that we see along the county streams and along our roadsides. Already, the numbers of bags removed from Rock Creek dropped by 25% in just a few months. We have boosted the purchase of clean and renewable energy to 30% of the county's annual consumption, the best east of the Mississippi in the nation. The senior agenda that we support is an action-oriented blueprint designed to make Montgomery County truly a community for a lifetime. I can proudly say tonight that we, Montgomery County, has been recently named as one of the best intergenerational communities in all of America. That's a high honor for us. The many nonprofit organizations serving the county contribute immensely to enhancing our quality of life. and pay over $2 billion in wages while employing 1 in 10 county workers. And with the strong support from the county, the arts and humanities community produced $150 million in economic impact last year. In everything we do in Montgomery County, we're striving to be more accountable and transparent. The new Open Montgomery initiative offers residents access to a growing array of data and information available for download. That includes new links to mobile devices and new social media platforms to encourage participation and feedback on public issues. This initiative is the first of any county in the entire country. Our County Stat Initiative uses real-time data to hold departments and agencies accountable for the results in public safety, overtime use, affordable housing, pedestrian safety, emergency preparedness, and more. This initiative has already saved the county tens of millions of dollars in direct costs and made us far more efficient. Montgomery County nationally recognized new one-stop non-emergency 311 phone and online system represent a significant step forward in responsiveness. Last year, we expanded MC 311 hours in order to better serve working families and commuters. And the 311 web portal is open 24/7. So far, the 311 system has fielded more than 1 million calls, and we are well prepared to accommodate millions more. As the county journey of change continues, I am proposing 3 new initiatives that will help ensure that we continue our remarkable progress in education, employment, and entrepreneurship, as well as many other important areas. First, I propose a new Montgomery County Open for Business initiative. The development process in this county is complicated, it is fragmented, redundant, and very expensive. The time to make change is now, to take full advantage of a rebounding economy. I've asked the Department of Permitting Services to bring all county agencies together, both inside and outside of county government, to identify additional areas where we can substantially change the way we do business in the county. We've already worked with stakeholders and have identified more than 60 areas in which improvements are recommended. These improvements are expected to cut approximately 1 year from development and construction projects in the county. Time saving translates into major cost savings and quicker return on investment for owners, not to mention reductions in engineering fees, carrying costs for construction loans, and legal fees. Montgomery County is open to business, and I want to make sure that we are also open for business. We are committed to continuing improvements. The changes we have identified are only making us better, and they are only the beginning. A streamlined process is good for everyone. It means projects are completed faster. This will add more investment, more jobs, and more properties to the county's tax base sooner, not later. Our path forward is a simple 3-step process. First, plan for sustainable growth that we want. Second, identify where it should happen. Third, simply make it happen. Can we change the way we do business in the county? Yes, I think that we can, and we have. Just look at what we've already accomplished with fire inspections. In the past year, we have consolidated fire inspection of the new and commercial residential constructions under the Department of Permitting Services. We completed 2,635 fire system inspections last year. And what previously took as long as 6 weeks to complete now takes 1 business day at no additional cost. I call that progress. Do we need a cumbersome state-county planning review model that was adopted close to the turn of the century? Beyond that, we need to ask, do we really need 3 transportation reviews? Do we really need 3 environmental reviews cutting across several different agencies? Now is the time for all of the county's outside agencies and county government to put everything on the table and make change. Let's keep what's working and build on that. And let's get rid of what doesn't work now. In Montgomery County, our residents speak many different languages, and that's good. But here, and increasingly around the world, mastering English is the ticket to opportunity and success. When you speak English, you not only learn another language, you also improve your chance to get a good job and probably even a better one beyond that. It is the ticket to growing your business and to building a better future for your family, which also increases the county's overall tax base. I recommend as a goal that every adult in this county who wants to learn English, no matter where you come from, that you have an opportunity to do so here in Montgomery County. For every $1 we invest in adult English language training, it brings us $3 in higher productivity. So let's invest the necessary resources to help shorten and in time eliminate the long waiting list for individuals seeking the opportunity to learn English. And we should encourage county residents to help us by becoming teaching volunteers in our county English learning network. The third initiative is for the county to undertake additional measures to help expand educational opportunities for all of our students. Now, underline the word all of our students. I'm therefore proposing a new partnership for educational achievement with our public schools to help support underperforming students, especially. Despite a school system that is successful with most students, there remains an achievement gap between students who have the resources to make the most of these educational opportunities and those who do not. The public schools, county government, and community service organizations must work more closely together to help tear down the remaining barriers to learning and close the achievement gap once and for all. We have to do it. In addition to the more than $2 billion that the county appropriated for public schools last year, the county also spent $240 million to further assist our schools, money that does not appear in the school's budget. That's money for nurses, health technicians, crossing guards, school resource officers, and for school wellness centers after the positive youth development and pre-kindergarten programs as well. But we must do more, and we can, to help close the achievement gap. The county's Excel Beyond the Bell program, a part of my positive youth development program, is a great success for kids at the middle school level where it exists. Parents love it. Students love it. But the program has a very long waiting list. This program is critically important to middle schools. And for many kids at that age, after school means coming home when their parents are still at work and the house is still empty. I propose that we extend the program during the summer at all Excel schools. I also recommend we phase in Excel to all of the other middle schools. Montgomery County also needs to further invest in collaborative and innovative projects to help students and their families, such as the one we started at the Kennedy High School cluster in 2008. Now, collectively, all of these measures in collaboration with our public schools can profoundly improve students' performance in the classroom and help ensure that young people can develop into successful adults. They are the future of our county. I know that the agenda that I've outlined here has been quite ambitious, but I believe it is also achievable and necessary if we want to continue to move this county forward. And moving us forward means the federal government must resolve its budget sequester challenges in a fair and balanced manner in ways that do not adversely affect the important programs and services here at the local level. In conclusion, please be reminded that for the past 6 years, we have wrestled with deficits and downturns in our county. But we are now emerging ever stronger from the recession. We have, in fact, accomplished a great deal thus far by working together. But much remains to be done. The new economy and the new American places a premium on Montgomery County's greatest strengths: who we are, what we know, and what we can do. The knowledge economy favors those who can work with different people in different environments, with different cultures, who can do difficult things, and who can make products and provide services that are in demand in distant ports of call. And that's who we are. We are Montgomery County. And thanks to our collective efforts, our ship is headed into the future in the right direction, stronger because of the challenges we face. We can be proud that this is the Montgomery County where we grew up, where we raised our kids, and where we may spend our retirement years surrounded by family, friends, and a loving community. This is also the new Montgomery County, ideally suited to lead the way in the new knowledge economy and the new, ever more diverse America of the 21st century. We are the place where America's future begins and where opportunity abounds right here in Montgomery County. Thank you for what you're doing, together to build that future right here, right now. Let's move forward together. May God bless this great county that we are so fortunate to call home. Thank you and good night. Thank you.